Shalom, Call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and teachers of Great Millstone and Ruel. Shalom to you, faithful, sincere, Akim wa Akwath, striving for truth unto death, doing the works, doing the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai in full truth, full faith, full sincerity, and always in charity. Shalom. This is going to be a quick lesson. Lord willing, this video is quick. But you know how the spirit rolls. Alright. And what sparked me to do this video is this tree that I seen on a walk in a nature preserve. And basically this tree had fell. Alright. But the reason why it didn't fall all the way down to the ground and it still was connected to its roots is because it had another tree. It had this pine tree didn't fall all the way down because the oak tree had caught him before it could fall all the way down to the ground. Okay? And it reminded me of this scripture. It reminded me of this scripture right here. This is Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9. It says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Okay? So this is why the brotherhood is so important. And this is why we are not supposed to be in that lone wolf mindset. Okay? We are supposed to be building that bond with Yahweh Shai first and foremost, because Yahweh Shai is the foundation, or Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the foundation, but also building that bond with the brotherhood, okay? Because the brotherhood, that is our true family. That is our true brothers, bro. All right, not your. You may be related to people in the world, but that's not your family, bro. That's just your relatives, all right, in the world. But the brotherhood, the ones that's serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and that's doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in full truth, faith, sincerity, and love, those are your brethren. Those are your brothers, bro. Okay? Those are your brothers. Alright? And that's who we should be building that bond with. And that's who we should be fellowshipping with. Alright? That's who we should be fellowshipping with. Okay, because that's how we grow in this truth. And that's also how we build that bond with Yahweh Shai. Okay, because Yahweh Shai also said that we are his friends. We are Yahweh Shai's friends, bro. Alright? The servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are his friends. Okay? Let's get this real quick. This is John 15 and 14. It says, ye, and this is red letter, Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Okay, so the ones that do the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai are ultimately the Lord's friends, bro. All right, so that goes for you, and that goes for the brothers. The ones that's on the highways and byways with you, okay? Those are your friends, and they're also Yahweh Shai's friends, okay? So we need to be fellowshipping. We need to be fellowshipping, especially in these last days, because it's not too much longer that we have this grace period to fellowship. It's not too much longer we have this grace period to call up a brother. Even if it's a 30-second call, you could just call up a brother, bro. All right, if you have been blessed with that great honor and great privilege to be able to call up a brother and check on a brother, bro. Okay, it's some brothers that do not have that honor, bro, that privilege. Okay, some brothers that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has them on more of a lone path until they whatever they need to do. Okay. But the point is to have do not take the brotherhood for granted. Alright? Do not take the brotherhood for granted. Okay? Be calling up brothers, checking up on brothers, asking brothers if they good, or even asking brothers questions if you need more clarification or edification. Okay, do what you need to do, bro. So our scripture saying this. Hebrews 13 verse 1, it says, let brotherly love continue. All right, let brotherly love continue, just simply as that. The brother and your brothers are the ones that do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, let's get this. This is Matthew 12, and getting straight to the point with verse 48. But he answered and said unto Slakia. It says, but he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, this is Lord Yahushai. He stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my mother, the same is my brother, the same is my Slakia. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Okay, so the ones that's doing the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's who Yahushai sees as a brother. Okay, so we are Yahweh's brother. Lord willing, we be those men. Okay, and we need to be strengthened in that bond with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because that is our foundation. That is who we lean on in times of trouble. Okay, that is who we call on in times of distress. We don't call on Esau. We don't call on Mimi, Grandma Mimi. We don't call on nobody except for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And with that, the Lord dwells within the brotherhood, bro. Okay? So you may call on a brother if you need to talk to somebody. Okay? Do not take that for granted. Do not take the blessing of being able to call up a brother for granted, because it is brothers that do not have that. Alright? It's brothers that do not have another brother to lean on. Okay? It's some brothers in the truth that only have Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to lean on, bro. Alright? Bahashim Chakwadash. Okay? But if you have a physical brother that you're with, bro, you should not take that for granted. Okay? And if you do, the Lord may show you the hard way why you shouldn't have taken it for granted. Okay? Because it's a saying that goes in the world, you don't really know what you have until you lose it. Alright, so this is just a quick video going through the spirit of the importance of building that connection with the brothers, and therefore also building that connection with Yahushai. Okay? Because the brotherhood, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai dwells within the brotherhood, bro. Alright? But it's back in Ecclesiastes 4:9, it says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. Just like this tree right here. Okay? It may be a day where y'all out in camp, and let's say you want to be a lone wolf. Or not that you want to be, but the Lord has you by yourself. Alright, because it's all through the spirit. So let's say the Lord has you by yourself, and you go out to camp by yourself, and one day you're just not feeling in the spirit, man. One day you're just not feeling in the spirit at all. Precepts not really clicking in your mind like how they usually would. You kind of tired, your mouth kind of dry. Alright, your back hurting, your feet hurting. Okay, and you out there by yourself. Alright, and you kind of slurring over your words. It's gonna be harder for you to get picked up in the spirit because you by yourself. Alright, you don't have that brother to help you up. Alright, it says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. Okay, but now let's say you out to camp with brothers. You got 5 brothers around you, so 6 people out there in camp all together. Or 7, let's say 7. You got 6 brothers around you. You got 7 people out there at camp all together. Alright. And let's say you feeling down in the spirit. You feeling down in the spirit. Alright. Feet hurting. The scriptures ain't clicking how they used to. But now, let's say the brother next to you may be feeling amped up in the spirit. Now he can feed you through the Ruach HaKodesh. He could feed your spirit, bro. And lift up your spirit. Alright? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. He may get fired up and then fire your spirit up. And now y'all both on fire. Alright? And then both of those fires light up both of the rest of the brothers around you. Alright? And then now it's just now the spirit is starting to flow throughout all the brothers, throughout the whole camp. You see? This is why it's important to be with brothers. Alright? This is why it's important to be with brothers. It says, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Exactly. So trying to be a lone wolf and wanting to be a lone wolf, it says woe to him. Alright? Although we have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, whithersoever we go, but sometimes we need that physical brother to confirm some things, bro. Alright? Sometimes we need that physical brother to talk to. Sometimes even just a quick, how you doing? Sometimes that can really help a brother tremendously. Okay? Because it's not just a brother, bro. It's literally the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, bro. That's what it is. Okay? Sometimes the brother may need to be rebuked. Sometimes the brother may need to be sharpened. We just need to be showing this brotherly love to the brotherhood. And especially in this times, bro. Helping another up if they fall, like this tree right here. Okay? This is Proverbs 27:17. It says, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Alright? And this is what we need to be doing. We need to be sharpening each other. Testing each other. Oh, what this scripture mean right here? You feel me? What that mean right there? Okay, just testing each other, just making sure we still on track, just making sure our heads still on straight, or however you brothers get down, man. Just testing each other, man. Fellowshipping. All right, it's very important, bro. It's very important. All right, cause that's how you help one another, bro. All right, even if it's telling a brother, oh, you gotta chill out with that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you getting overweight, you gotta go in the gym. Or telling the brother straight up, hey, go in the gym. You need to stop eating all that like processed food. Go in the gym, bro. You can come in the gym with me, matter of fact. And that's how we should be moving in these days, bro. Helping one another. Oh, you could come in the gym with me, bro. I got a whole bunch of workouts for you. Alright? That's how we sharpen each other, bro. That's how iron sharpeneth iron, bro. Alright? And do not take that to your advantage. It's like you do not take that for granted, because it is something very precious, bro. The brotherhood is something very precious. Alright, but Lord willing, I got the point across in this one. Hopefully somebody got something out of this lesson. Hopefully this video was edifying to the body in some type of way. Till the next time, shalom, shalom, shalom. Abba, Kwam, Yasharallah.